Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So today we are doing something a little bit different. I want to start doing some like story times into my YouTube and we'll see how that goes. I want to basically summarize the book in the best way that I can without spoiling anything. And then at the end I will talk about how I felt about the book. I will give it a rating and I will let you guys know if I recommend reading this book. So this could be fun. So here we go. The book I have chosen today is actually on my fall TBR, and that is The 7-Year Slip by Ashley Poston. We open with Clementine, the female main character, who is a book publicist who inherits her aunt's apartment after her aunt passes away. When Clementine was younger, her aunt was always telling her stories about how the apartment was magical and how it would send you 7 years back into the future, though it doesn't stay consistent. Clementine is very skeptical of this. She's like, "Oh, my aunt's just telling me stories. She's just telling me stories of when I was younger and I believe them because I was younger and obviously that can't happen because this is real life." Until one day when the apartment does send her back 7 years into the past. When this happens, she meets a stranger in her house named Ian, who was told by her aunt 7 years in the past that he was allowed to stay there. As the story progresses, Clementine and Ian they start to slowly fall in love with each other, basically living together under the same roof, cooking together. But like I said earlier, the apartment keeps jumping back and forth from 7 years into the future and then 7 years back into the past. So it's not consistent. At work, again, Clementine is a publicist. She is tasked with bringing in a well-known best-selling author who is also a chef, and his name is James Ashton. Turns out he is Ian. So, Ian remembers her from 7 years ago, basically. He just doesn't know how she feels about him. And same with her. She was like, "Well, if you loved me back then, which was like 2 weeks ago for me, then why didn't you come and find me so we could chat it up, you know?" And in all this time, Ian is trying to open his own restaurant. And Clementine is just realizing, wow, this man really changed. He's not the man I fell in love with. He looks like he's losing his passion. He looks like he's not doing this for himself anymore. And that's really sad for her. She went from knowing this guy being just a dishwasher at the beginning of a book, and now he's this big top chef opening his restaurant. And it's just sad because he's not really he lost his passion for what he really wanted to do in life. When Clementine sees Ian again from 7 years ago, she tells him the truth. She tells him, "Look, we are I am 7 years in your future and you are 7 years in your past, in my past. And this won't work out because we're in this apartment. It's not consistent. We can't go anywhere. We have to figure out how to fix things in our time." She basically tells Ian to wait for her, but she doesn't want him to go looking for her because she knows that she is going to be someone totally different 7 years into the past because she was just starting her career when she met him, you know? And it wouldn't make sense for Ian to start things when she is so young. She's starting her career. She's lost. She's coping with the fact that her aunt passed away. Just a lot, you know? So she doesn't want him to meet that version of her. He she wants him to meet the version of herself who knows her way around the city more is how I would put it. And after that happens, Clementine gets inspired to just quit her job because she has been at that job for 7 years, you guys. 7 years. That's a lot of years, you know? That's a lot of years. And she's like, "No, I need something new for myself because why am I doing this job for 7 years? She's basically doing what Ian's doing. She lost her passion for something. She stuck to something for 7 whole years, and she has what to show for it. She lives in her dead aunt's apartment. She she's really stressed out because at work her boss is like, "Oh, I'm going to make you the new manager." And she doesn't, that feeling in your stomach, she just doesn't know if she wants to do that. She needs something new. She needs a passion, not just a job. When Clementine sees present day Ian again, she tells him, "Hey, you're not the same. We need to figure out what's going on because this isn't your passion anymore. You need to find something that you are passionate about besides just cooking, opening a restaurant. That is so boring, by the way." And he agrees with her. He's like, "Yes, I have changed," and he wants to like thank her for that reminder, basically. At the end of the book, Ian tells Clementine that he loves her, and she says it back. And now they embark on a new adventure together where they are just both in their same time frames. I can say this book was really like not messy. It was not messy at all. But there was a lot of time jumps just to see like present day Ian and past Ian. The book, on top of the book, it says it is love love is never a matter of time, but a matter of timing. And I think that is such a good saying in a book, because sometimes, let's just say, like, oh, let's say these two people are boyfriend and girlfriend one time and it just doesn't work out. There's nothing saying you can't try again later. It's not a matter of time, it's a matter of timing. That's basically how I took the book. This is a really sweet read. I really, really recommend this. I would say this is definitely a mood read, like if you're feeling down about a relationship, maybe, or if you're just starting a new relationship, I would definitely read this book if that were me. But I basically read this because it was on my fall TBR. But this is a really good book. This is really good for book clubs because at the end it has questions for everybody to answer. And I would rate this book a I'm going to say an 8 out of 10. The beginning, it was kind of hard to get hooked on it, but as I kept reading, cuz some books are just hard for me to get into like that, like some of these more cutesy love stories. Um but yeah, I would say 8 out of 10. It was a little slow at the beginning for me, and it was kind of like, am I going to be interested in this book? I really hope so, because I look at the cover, it's so cute. I want to read it. And plus the back like had me hooked already. So I kept reading it and I was like, wow, this story is like all over the place. But it was a really good story. Like I said, mood read, and it's not a spicy book. It's just a normal love story, which I love about that. And this is also a very quick read. It's very short. Only took me 2 days to read it. That's only because I have a job. But if I didn't have a job, this would take me like a day to read at most. That's it. But yeah, I definitely recommend The 7 Year Slip by Ashley Poston. She also has other books as well, but this is the first one I read and I am very impressed. Very impressed. This left me thinking, you know? Well, one, for like everything happens for a reason. Everything happens for a reason. And again, it's not a matter of time, but a matter of timing. And I think that's such a good thing to stand by, because sometimes things just don't work out in that moment. And it's either up to you to try and fix it, or it's up to you to try and just not doing anything with that information. In the book, her grandmother would say that she had this friend who would come 7 years from the past, come into the apartment, and they fell in love, but they never did anything about it. They fell in love and never did anything about it because it's not a matter of time, it's a matter of timing. And they figured, since we're changing so much from 7 years, it's not worth it to do anything. they would talk back and forth, but it just wasn't worth it to continue this relationship if it might have not worked out in the present day. The 7-Year Slip by Ashley Poston. I highly recommend this book. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate you, and I will see you guys in the next one.